Okay, good morning, everyone. I want to believe we are all in class. You can comment your name in the chat section. Okay, good morning, Halima. How are you today? Okay, so I've seen Halima in class. I'm waiting for others to join us. Waiting for other people to join us. Okay, it's only Halima I'm seeing here. Where are the others? Yes, others should. Okay, Oganla, good morning. Okay. All right. Fatima, good morning. Daniel, good morning. Ridwan, good morning. All right. Ridwanullah Arasi, good. All right. So I'm noting that. I'm noting your names. I'm noting you. So I have 5 people. Lincoln making 6. All right. So I'm noting that. Jamil, Odorino, good morning. Okay, without wasting time, I believe others will join us. We can start our class for this morning, and we are going to be talking about directed numbers. So when we talk about directed numbers, what should come to our mind is number lines. We have number lines where we can read to the left or to the right. Probably we are reading upward or we're reading downwards. But there is a lot of interesting things we are going to discuss, we are going to see today. I'm going to show you. I want to make this class as gradual as possible so that you can follow right from the beginning. All right. Okay, so what will you learn today? What you will learn is the vocabulary related to integers. And when you talk about integers, I will tell you what they mean. Integers are simply whole numbers, both positive and negative, including 0. Whole numbers, all whole numbers are referred to as integers. So, and there are other things you are going to be getting from there. Please, while you are in class, I can see a very few number according to what I have here now. So I will always encourage you to go back to the YouTube if you miss the class. Make sure you comment your name on the comment section on YouTube so that I will know you watch this. There has been some people we notice have not been part of the class and they are not going to watch on the YouTube. So please encourage your mates to always check the video on YouTube. All right. Okay, so we are going to talk about the rules for adding and subtracting integers, and then we are also going to talk about the method for proving that a rule is true. Okay, so if we have the readiness to learn the vocabulary, the rules, and the method, then we can hit the roads. Okay, so I've divided it into 3 parts. Majorly 3 parts. So the first part is learning the vocabulary. Okay, so we talk about positive number, negative number, horizontal, vertical number lines, then comparing integers, ordering integers, vocabulary, continued, opposite number, integer. Then we talk about real world application and examples. We're going to be talking about the temperature, the sea level, and then we're going to be talking about money. Okay, so these are application of what we'll refer to as the topic directed number. So it means that there is a whole lot of application of this in our everyday life. All right, that we're going to learn today. Okay. So now look at this. Of course, you can see it. You were taught in your primary school and in your GSS1 class. When you see numbers like this, starting from 0, 0 is neutral. It's neither positive nor negative. So that is why you see it written with red color. So all other numbers are written in other color. can see it continues. It's a continuation. The line continues. So when you start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then you can continue to number it until you know. So when we talk about positive number, any number that is greater than 0 is referred to as positive number. Any number that is greater than 0. You can see the sign. The sign in brackets simply means greater than. The sign you see in brackets simply means greater than. So when you have a number greater than 0, then you say you have a positive number. Any number greater than 0. So 1 is greater than 0, 2 is greater than 0, 3 is greater than 0. So all the numbers you have on your right hand side, they are all positive numbers because they are greater than 0. Okay. Now, what about how will you know if a number is positive? There are two ways. The first way is that you should see a positive sign in front of it. Now, if you don't see a positive sign, so are we to copy? Okay, don't copy yet. Don't copy yet. Just listen. All these things are just explanations for now. Don't copy. Just follow the explanation. Follow the explanation. When it is time to copy, we are going to copy examples. Just write down the topic, directed numbers. That's all you need for now. Okay. So if you don't see a negative or positive sign in front of a number, then you assume that the number is positive. You assume that the number is positive. Okay. So I can just write 3 and I didn't put plus in front or minus in front. So it means that the number is assumed to be a positive number. Okay. It is assumed to be a positive number. All right. So 9 is the same thing as plus 9. When you see plus 9, it means it's a positive number. But when I write ordinary 9, it also means that it's also a positive number. So most times when a number is positive, we don't bother to put the sign positive in front of it. All right. So I want everybody to note that. So I can write it without the sign. It means that it is a positive number. Now, to the other side of our number line. Okay, so we're extending from 0 to the other side, that is to the left-hand side. Now, you will now notice that there is something attached to each of the numbers that we have on the left-hand side. That is a negative sign. So it shows that all these numbers that we are talking about, these numbers towards our far left-hand side, they are numbers that are less than 0. They are numbers that are less than 0. So you can see that's the definition for a negative number, a number less than 0. And for a positive number, a number greater than 0. So the sign you are having here is a sign for less than, less than. The sign is for less than, less than, less than. Don't copy notes yet. Don't copy notes. Just listen to the explanation. Follow the screen. As I'm sharing the information, just follow the screen. Don't worry. There's nothing to copy here. You know what positive and negative numbers are. But if anybody asks you, can you know, define it? So I'm just giving you a proper definition now. A number less than 0. And the point you should note that when it is a negative number, it must carry a negative sign. It must carry a negative sign. That's the difference. It must carry a negative sign. Now, combining the numbers together now, this is what you have. This is what we call a number line. And what you have here is called horizontal number line. Okay. So you have the 0 in the middle. 0 is the one that separates the negative and the positive. So 0, more to say, is just a neutral. Okay, so you have your 0 there. Numbers below or left of 0 are negative. Now, when I say the word below, because I'm going to consider that as vertical. If it is arranged vertically, the number above 0 will be positive, while the number below 0 will be negative. Okay. Aisha, you are welcome. And Farida, you're welcome. Happy New Month. Okay, so let's continue. Let's continue. All right, so you can see the numbers to the right-hand side. They are the positive number, while the numbers to the left-hand side of 0, they are the negative numbers, okay? Now, this is what we're talking about when we say above or below. You can see the vertical arrangement of the number. 0 is staying in the middle, and then above the 0, you have the positive numbers arranged in that order, in increasing order, while below 0, you see the negative numbers arranged, all right? Negative numbers are the ones below, while the positive numbers are the ones above. So if I tell you, because you will need this arrangement, but when we get to graphs, we combine both horizontal and vertical lines together to make graphs and to be able to locate points. If you are good at locating points on a graph, then we can go as far as locating points on the globe. Okay. All right, so let's move on from there. Now, let us now compare the integers, okay? I've told you that we have the positive integers, the negative integers, everything combined together, both positive and negative, including 0, everything, the common name given to everything is called integers. So you can now separate it into the positive and the negative, all right? So here we want to compare numbers, all right? And there is a hint below the screen. If you see the hint, said on a number line, the number to the left is always less than the number to the right. So when you are comparing two numbers on the number line, you look at the one that is to the left. That should always be lesser to the one that is immediately right of it. Okay, so you have these numbers. We have -4, -2, we have 1, we have -3, we have -5, and we have 0. So how do we compare them? What should be inside that green circle is what we want to check. When you check -4 and -2, according to the number line we have, you will see that -4 is to the far left of -2. So when a number is to the left, it does not mean that the way it is arranged on the beside the circle. We are talking about the way it is arranged on the line. So you check, you compare the way it is arranged on the line, and then you'll be able to know which one is lower. So for on the line now, -4 is to the left of -2. So I will just put less than, because -4 is less than 2, -2. So you have less than. And then 1 and -3. Now you go back to the line. 1 on the line is to the far right of -3. So it means that the one that is occupying the right position, when you place the two of them on a line, 1 will be occupying the right position while -3 will be occupying the left. So what we should have there is greater than, and that is what appears, greater than. And then when you compare -5 and 0, does anybody have an answer to this? The third one, -5 and 0, just indicate whether it is greater or less. Sheriff Oba, okay? Okay, -5 is less than 0. Thank you. Thank you very much. So what we are going to have is less than, okay? So this comparison is very good for us so that we will know which one should be where on the number line. When you know how to order your number, this is called ordering. So when you know how to order your numbers, there's a lot of things that it will do for you. You can order your priorities in life. You can know what to do first when you wake up in the morning. Everything about this is mathematical. All right. So now let's compare the one we have on the vertical line. All right. We also can check it in terms of vertical lines. -3 and -5. I'm going to be fast with this. The one that is below will always be lesser than the one above it. So when you compare -3 and -5, -5 is less than -3 because it's below. All right, it's below. So you have minus 5 is less. So minus 3 is greater than minus 5. So it should be greater than, all right, because minus 5 is below minus 3. The one above will always be greater. And then here you have less than, and then here you also have greater than. Okay, so that's all you have. You can take your time to check all this before I move on to the next slide. All right. Don't forget, look at the int on the number line. When you talk about the vertical, all right, the top is always greater than the number on the bottom or at the bottom, as the case may be. Okay. Now let's compare this. When you have this set of numbers, the question, this is an activity for everyone. Use the number line to put the following integers in order from the least to greatest. From least to greatest. Okay, so we want to arrange this number. We want to see which one is the lowest. Then we move like that until we get to the highest. So we have this set of number minus 4, 3, 0, and minus 5. They are not arranged. So we need to arrange them starting from the lowest. So I want to see who can try this before I put up my answer. Let everybody try something and then type your answer on the chat. Solve it, just solve the question and type your answer in the chat section. Okay, so I have, okay, good. Oganla, all right. Omena, okay, seeing that. Okay, so we have it. This is what we are going to have. Very correct. I love that. Okay, all right. So we have minus 5, minus 4, 0, and 3. So once we are able to understand the concept of ordering and we know how to place our negative and positive numbers in proper perspectives, then we won't have problem. Now look at this. There is something we need to learn about this vocabulary, opposite numbers. When we talk about opposite numbers, they are numbers that are the same distance from 0 in the opposite direction. Okay, so when you see the 0, how many steps do we need to move before we get to 3? We just move 3 steps. 3 steps. And then when you want to go to the left also, how many steps do you need to move to get to minus 3? It's just 3 steps. The only difference is that while you are moving in the right direction for positive numbers, you'll be moving in opposite direction for the negative numbers. That is where you have the word opposite. All right, that's where you have the word opposite numbers. So we don't have problem with this. Definitely, we should be able to tell the opposite of each integer. All right. So, yeah. Okay, not really exactly like absolute value though. Yeah, but you are right. You are having that. That's a good concept you discovered there. But it's not just exactly. This is just the beginning. By the time you advance, you understand it's more comprehensive. All right. The concept of absolute value is more comprehensive. It's okay, but this is just a little beginning for us. So the opposite of plus 7 should be minus 7, while the opposite of plus 1 should be what? Minus 1. Yeah. Oganla, Ridwana, good. All right. The opposite of minus 5, of course, should be plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5. And that of minus 8 will be plus 8. All right. So I want to believe I'm not too fast. So we have already mentioned that integers are all the whole numbers. For you to have an integer, it must first be a whole number. So then you now combine both positive and negative, including 0. When you write your integers and you are eliminating or you are not including 0, then it is not a complete integer. For integers to be complete, you have this whole set of positive numbers, negative numbers, and then 0 must be included because that is the borderline between the positive and the negative numbers. All right. So 0 is very important. 0 is an integer. It is an integer. Okay, so you have all of these. And you can see the line continues on both sides, either to the negative or to the positive. It doesn't stop exactly at 6, but that is what my screen can contain. All right, if I compress it further, I can write up to 100 on both sides, up to positive 100 and up to negative 100. But you should know, you should understand that the number is continuous. So that's why it didn't just stop. All right, the line like that. Okay. So these are the whole set of integers, the negative numbers, the 0, and the positive numbers. You can see my arrows on both sides shows that there is a continuation. All right. So now let's talk about the negative number in real world. Let's talk about application. What do we do with negative numbers? Why do we need negative numbers? Why? What is it for? Look at this. This is temperature. When the temperature is increasing, then we say we have, positive. But when the temperature is 0, that is where you have the temperature of ice in the water that you put in your refrigerator. That's 0. But there are some countries of the world where you hear temperatures going as low as -5. In fact, for all of you that have your AC in the house, you will see some temperature -16. That is to tell you that you can reduce something even when you go to the negative side. Because when the temperature is high, that is when you have heat. But when the temperature is low, that is cold, excessive cold. So you can see the application of negative number does not really mean in mathematics and numbers. It is applicable to our immediate environment. Of course, so you cannot travel to Canada, you cannot travel to Iceland, but you have AC in your house. So you'll be able to tell. When you say you want the temperature, you want your environment to be colder, you go as far as below 0 so that your AC can make your environment to be cold. So the application of negative numbers, you can use it in measurement of temperature, right? Then let us talk about the sea level. The sea level, you can see a boat that is hitting iceberg. This is a story of Titanic, 1914. Okay, if you're interested in that, you can Google that story. You read about it. For most of you that have the video, you can watch later. But what we are interested in is whenever you have the sea level is always assumed to be of 0 meters. Okay, so you can now begin to measure the level of land compared to the sea level. So as you see it increasing now, this is 10 meters, 20 meters, 30 meters. So some hills like Kilimanjaro, Mount Everest, they are measured right from the sea level. Their height is measured, their heights are measured right from the sea level. And then what about below the sea? There are some distances down below the sea, up to the seabed. When I say seabed, that is the land area under the waters. Okay, when you are measuring from the sea level, you measure in negative. You see -10, -20, -30, -40, and it continues. It continues. All right, it continues. All right, leave Titanic 2. Let's concentrate on the class. I'm only telling you what you have as application of negative number. Now, let's talk about money. For most of you, you want to really track your money. You want to know what's happening to your money. Now, when you have more money, that is positive. But when you are owing money, you have more money to be paid out. Like there is a lot of things that you need to do with money. When you earn money, that is positive. When you earn money, that is positive. But when you spend, that is negative. Assuming you go out with, let's say, 10,000 naira, 10,000 naira. The more you are buying things, the more the money keeps reducing. So it's going the negative way. And when you buy things up to the point that you still have to go home and get more money to come and balance up, of course, you're already in the negative region. So when you get paid or you win a lottery, you see, you have your check in your hand, or you win a scholarship, Let's say you are given a scholarship of $100,000, $1 million to go and study in the US, and you have your check displayed as you can see on the screen. That is positive. That is positive. You add to your account. Yes, somebody say like me. Yes, good. So when you have more money in your account, that is positive. All right. But when you owe somebody, okay, look at this story. If your mom loaned you $10 for pizza, you sure want to eat pizza and it's your birthday. It's okay, I don't have money. Mommy, can you loan me some money for pizza? All right. So mommy gave you with the expectation that you are going to pay back. That means you owe your mom $10. It will be a negative value. Definitely, it will be a negative value. All right. So good. All right. So the $10 you owe her is described by the integer minus 10. Minus 10. Minus 10. Good. Okay. So let everybody now concentrate. This application now, I have a description for it that everybody can participate. So write an integer to describe the real world situation. You gain £3. You gain £3. Maybe now that you are at home, you eat 7 times a day. By the time you get back to school, you have gained £3. So what will I write there? +3. Good. Oganla, I love that. +3. Good. Yeah, Aliyah, +3. You are correct. You are correct. +3. Yes, Omena. Once I have 3, 4 people answering, I think I can move on. So the answer is either you write it as 3 or you write it as +3. Don't forget I said the two means the same thing. All right. If you don't see a positive in front of it, it means that it's also a positive. Okay, good. What about withdraw $15? Withdraw $15. Minus 15. Yeah, correct. Sheriff Oba Oganla. Yes, I can see that. Tonti, good. Ridwana. All right, is correct. Minus 15. Let's move to the next one. 5 feet below sea level. 5 feet below sea level. Oganla, that's correct. Sheriff Oba, correct. Aliyah, correct. Ridwan, Arasi. Minus, Moshood, okay. Moshood Abdul Malik, you only wrote minus. Can you correct yourself? Okay, good. -5. That's nice. Good. Okay, let's move on. Move ahead 4 spaces. Move ahead 4 spaces, +4. I love you guys. You are trying, and that is good. It means you are getting it. All right. So having seen all this, let's talk about, okay, so at the end of the part 1, we talked about positive number, negative number. We talked about horizontal and vertical number lines. We have compared integers. We have ordered integers. I want to believe that opposite number, you understand that, then you understand what integers. And we've done real world application. We show that in temperature, the sea level, and also application of negative numbers in money. All right. Now let's concentrate on addition. We can add and subtract our integers. We can add and subtract our integers. We can compare, Now, addition rules using number lines. Look at this. Now, when you have 2 numbers that are positive, the addition is always positive. When you have 2 numbers that are negative, the addition is always negative. Please note this. You can write this in your note. I think you need this. When 2 numbers are positive, the addition is always positive. Don't assume. I don't want you to assume I know now. Please concentrate, because this has some level of technicalities that I'm going to explain here. Ridwana, you need to concentrate or you'll be removed. You are not paying attention to this class. Don't discuss anything outside this class. Ridwana, concentrate now before I remove you. If you don't concentrate, I'll remove you. I want you to focus on the screen. I just explained something. Two numbers that are positive, when you add them, you have positive answer. And then two numbers that are negative, by the time you add them, you have negative answers. Okay, so this is the summary of the concept. Plus in brackets plus, another plus in bracket will always give you plus, and then subtraction or negative plus negative will always give negative. Now I want to go, like I told you, there is a lot of technicality to this, so this is where you have to be careful. Salma, please be warned. Salma, please be warned. Salma, be warned. Salma, be warned. Right. So we say that sometimes when you add plus and negative, you can get plus. This is because your positive number is greater than the negative number, in a way that when you combine the two, there will always be an excess. And we are going to explain the technicality of that. Sometimes it can also be negative, and sometimes it can be zero when they are of the same distance away from the zero center. Okay, so if the sign are the same, add the numbers and then put the sign of the adding in front of your answer. These are the things we need to check now. So we say that when you have a positive 4 and a positive 7, you will get a positive 11. When you have a positive 4 and a positive 7, you get a positive 11. But here, when you have a negative 9 and a negative 5 added together, you get a negative 14. Get a negative 14. All right. So can we start doing something simple? Let me go back here so that you understand this concept. Look at the concept very clearly. I want everybody to start typing answers for this now. We have questions to quickly solve. And I think we have about 10 to 15 minutes to round up this class. So we need to start working. All right. I've seen an answer from Oganla. Thank you, Oganla. Always paying attention. I love that. Always paying attention. Okay, Kazim, Moshood, Abdullah. Okay, we need to do it one by one so as not to cause confusion. A lot of people are typing different answers. Let's pick it one by one. Let us pick it one by one. So the first one should give you -8. That's the answer you should have. All right. We should pick it one by one so as not to confuse people that are not understanding it. When you give an answer to the question we have not solved, it may cause confusion. All right. Just let us be doing it one by one. So for my number 2, we should have 10, or simply positive 10. Okay. Yeah, 2 is equal to 10. That means question number 2 is equal to 10. Correct. Now let's go to question number 3 now. Question number 3 plus 7. Ridwana, good. You are now concentrating. I love that. Okay. So you can write it as ordinary 7 or plus 7. It is allowed. Now this one will give you -13. This one will give you 14. And then the last one. Okay, so I'm waiting for someone to type the last answer for me. The last one. Okay, good. Sherif Oba, I've seen your answer. Ridwana, I've seen your answer. Okay. Kudus, all right. Jamil, Oderino, Ridwan, Arasi. Okay, good. Lincoln, Abdulatif, yes, that'll be the answer. -18. -18. Thank you very much. -18. -18. Okay. So let's do this together. We're going to do this together. Now, these are two different signs. Two different signs. Two different signs. So we have -5 and we have +3. We are adding -5 to 3. We are adding -5 to 3. And look at the explanation. If the signs of the addends are different, start at the location of the first integer on the number line and then move right to add a positive integer. So let's see this. This is the starting point. You can see, let me go again. Look at it now. Pay attention to the number line. I want you to focus on the number line. You can see there is a red. That's where I'm starting. That's where I'm starting. -5, and I want to add 3 to that. That means I have to move to the right because 3 is a positive number. So I have to go 3 steps to the right. All right. Okay, so we have this. So moving 3 steps to the right, you can see the green circle. The green circle is showing that I have -2 as my final answer. And that is what you have here. -2 as my final answer. -2 as my final answer. Adilowo, Adilowo, please pay attention. You are in math class, not Turkish class. Adilowo, Daniel, pay attention here. Okay, so look at this one, -6 plus 5. You start at -6, all right? And then you move 5 steps towards the right because it's a +5. It counts forward or right 5 spaces. And then you can see where the arrow ends. The arrow ends at -1. The arrow ends at -1. You need to know how to make use of this number line. And it is not just about calculating numbers. I've told you, they can ask this question in terms of temperature, sea levels, and even money. That is why you need to understand the concept. All right. Now, let us do all this together. Let's do all this together. We'll pick the answers one by one. We have 4 questions, one by one, please, one by one. So let's start from the first one, of course. 8 plus 16, 8 plus 6 rather, that gives 14, which is correct. Do you understand why this is -4? Do you understand why this is -4? Abdulateef, you are correct. Majid, Oganla, Balogun, yes. -4, oh good. So you already seen that. But I'm interested in the number 3 question. Something interesting there. Oganla, yeah. Okay, good. Okay, good. So it will give you 0. Because from -11, if you move 11 spaces to the right, what you are going to have is a 0. You are going to end up on 0. And then the last question, let's go for the last question now. -8 plus 16. -8 plus 16, and that gives you 8. So it shows you guys are following. I like when you are following because I'm always seeing what you are typing on your chat. Yeah, I'm monitoring your chat even as I'm on the screen displaying all this. I'm monitoring your chat. That is why you must not type something that is outside this class. Okay, so for this one now, look at where the negative number is. So you start from 4. When it is negative, you move to the left. When it is positive, you move to the right. So we start from 4. That's our starting point. And then because we are adding a -3, we have to move to the left 3 steps. And then you can see that the 4 steps, the second step, and the third step. So we get back to 1. We get back to 1. So our answer is 1. Our answer is 1. Our answer is 1. Okay. So you can see the answer as 1. Now, what about this? We start at +3. We start at +3. Then we have to count back 5 steps. You can see the arrow, the red arrow below the number line. And then we ended at -2. We ended at -2. Just count back 5 steps. I'm taking this class this slow so that everybody can be carried along without any trouble. Okay, so we have our answer to be -2. Okay, so everybody, this is another one for us. Now, please, I don't want you to rush. Number 1, answer first. Number 1, answer first. Okay, I have an answer. -10 by Sherif Oba, Oganla Daniel, -10. Okay, Azan Kasim. Okay, -10. All right, so that's correct, -10. Number 2. Number 2. Number 2. Okay, -13 is correct. Yes, -13. Number 3. Number 3. I've seen someone type the answer already. You are correct. 7 or +7. Either +7 or 7. Any of the two is correct. And then number 4. This is another interesting answer. Yes, number 4. Alima, correct. Azan Kazim, yes, correct. Number 4. Mashud, yeah, that's correct. It is 0. 0. Okay. So we are going to quickly do this together, and I want us to concentrate. Okay. Look at something like this. When you have same sign, it will turn to plus. Okay. When you have same sign, please focus on this. Subtracting a negative answer. Subtracting a negative answer means the negative multiplied by itself turns to plus. Okay. So look at this. 2 minus minus 7, minus by minus, you have to turn it to plus. When they are the same sign, it is always plus. Once they are the same sign, it is always plus. Okay, so you have 2 plus 7, which is 9. And then look at this. When you have just negative in between, you can write it as plus minus 4, which we just did a few minutes ago. Okay, so we have 3 plus minus 4, which is minus 7. Okay, now this one will be the same as you can see 12 plus 8, because there is minus here inside the bracket and outside the bracket, which follows each other. So you have that. And then this one is also the same as when you had the sign changes. When it is the same sign, you are going to have plus. Okay. And of course, this one is problem to solve. Of course, you have this. 8 plus 12 gives you 20. Yes, correct. Then who can answer the next one? 22 minus negative 30. 22 minus negative 30. Read one, okay? Oganla, Omena, Abdulatif. This is good. When you are in class and you are participating, you are actively working towards the instruction is good for us. All right, but you can see that you don't just type answer directly. There is a way you convincingly state the way you arrive at your answer, so that it will not look as if you are copying somebody's answer. Yes, you may be wondering, why am I saying that? Maybe you are in your different houses. It's good. Now, who can try this? We have moved away now, so I want someone to try this. I also end the class because of time. Okay, minus 14, that's correct. Now look at this, and then you get minus 14. How about the last one? How about the last one? Moshood, what you typed was wrong, go Moshood. Okay, you have corrected yourself. That's nice. Okay, so you have this, and then you have minus 11. All right. Let me pick. I want to give you a question to solve. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let me stay here. You can see that integers are very, very interesting. Integers are very, very interesting. So I want you to study this over the weekend. Of course, study that over the weekend. And probably let me just type some questions for you to practice. Okay. Let me type questions for you to practice. All right. We are going now. I just want to type questions for you. Okay. All right. Assignment. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I want to give assignment. Yeah. So you solve the following questions. Okay. All right, please be copying this. You need to copy it. Yes, this is the assignment. I'm typing it already. I'm typing it already. Just follow it as I'm typing. Okay. Sorry. Let me just give 2 more. All right, so this is the last one. All right. So I want you to try all these 5 questions. I want you to try out these 5 questions. Try out the 5 questions. Try out the 5 questions as an assignment. All right, so I'm projecting it for everybody to see. Thank you for coming around. See you next week.
The license has finished. Bye.